The lights dim on the raucous Family Feud set, the laughter fades, and the famously expressive face of Steve Harvey softens, replaced by a gaze of profound reflection. We know the comedian, the game show host, the impeccably dressed arbiter of everyday absurdities. But beneath that polished, boisterous exterior lies a wellspring of deep philosophical thought, a man whose insights resonate with an almost spiritual gravity. It's a paradox many miss, a hidden depth revealed not in a punchline, but in a solemn declaration. Consider this. Steve Harvey once wrote on Goodreads, in his book Act Like a Success, think like a success, that the only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. This isn't the setup for a joke. It's a stark existential truth. This is the Steve Harvey we rarely see on prime time, the one who challenges us to confront our fleeting existence with purpose and intention. He's not just making people laugh, he's trying to make them live. His philosophy, often shared in commencement addresses or in the quiet moments of long-form interviews, is a roadmap for a life lived with unwavering conviction. At its core, he believes in a divine purpose, a unique gift bestowed upon each of us. As he often states, your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. This powerful distinction, frequently echoed in his motivational articles, invites you to peer beyond the superficial pursuit of a paycheck and ask yourself, what am I truly designed to do? And for Harvey, answering that question requires an audacious act of faith, a willingness to take the plunge. He famously encourages us to jump, noting in his book of the same name that when you jump, I can assure you that your parachute will not open right away. But if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. If you're safe, you'll never soar. This isn't just about risk-taking. It's about trusting a divine plan beyond your current sight. But purpose without discipline is merely a dream deferred. Harvey is an unapologetic advocate for rigorous self-mastery. In a compelling YouTube discussion on daily habits, he underscores, every morning is a new battle, and your mind decides whether you win or lose. He preaches the power of tiny, consistent actions, explaining in another motivational video that small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need money. You don't need enormous motivation. You just need commitment. These small steps, he argues, become habits, then patterns, then your mindset, and ultimately, your destiny. This isn't about grand gestures. It's about the quiet, internal victories that shape who you become. He even, in a surprisingly candid discussion with Joe Rogan, likened the discipline of Ramadan not to deprivation, but to liberation from your lower self, the one that always wants more, the one that's never satisfied. It's a profound call to master your inner world, far beyond the surface-level quest for external achievement. And what about the inevitable stumbles along the way? The man who has stumbled publicly and spectacularly offers perhaps his most liberating teaching, the necessity of failure. For him, failure is the training ground for success, a powerful message from a YouTube motivation clip. He consistently reframes setbacks, stating in motivational articles that your setback is just a setup for a comeback. This isn't just optimism. It's a strategic embrace of adversity, a profound understanding that growth is messy. He challenges us to confront our fears, remarking on Goodreads that, what I learned from that moment is that when you face your fears, they aren't as big as you thought they were. They only grow when you avoid them. So the failures, the fears, they aren't roadblocks. They are the very information you need to refine your jump. Ultimately, Harvey's message culminates in legacy. He's not content with fleeting fame or personal fortune. As he declared in his 2016 Alabama State University commencement address, great people change other people's lives. Great people put other people's needs in front of theirs. This isn't about accolades or monuments. It's about impact. In a YouTube reflection on death, he poignantly states, legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence even when you are gone. It's about the love, kindness, and values you impart, the chain reaction of positive change you set in motion. So the next time you see Steve Harvey, remember the dash. Remember the conviction that underpins the comedy, the discipline that fuels the dreams, and the unwavering belief that your life is meant for something far greater than mere entertainment. His message isn't just for a studio audience. It's for anyone ready to shed their own mask and embrace the philosophical journey toward their true, purposeful self. Welcome to What Would They Do?, the show where we pull up a chair to the philosopher's seat and peer beyond the celebrity persona into the very soul of their unexamined philosophy. We delve deep into the quiet convictions and profound principles that guide public figures, often hidden beneath layers of fame, humor, or public expectation. Today, we invite you to join us on a journey with a man whose wisdom is often as understated as his laughter is booming, Steve Harvey. For many, Steve Harvey is the quick-witted comedian, a sharp-dressed game show host, a straight-talking relationship guru. Yet behind the familiar smile and the comedic timing lies a formidable intellect, a spiritual seeker, and an unexpected philosopher whose insights offer a powerful blueprint for living. He's not just telling jokes. He's delivering profound truths wrapped in relatable anecdotes. He's a thought leader who consistently pushes past the superficial, urging us to confront our deepest selves. As he often reminds us, with a candor that cuts straight to the core, we become our own opposition when we accept the following: procrastinating, lying to ourselves, comparing ourselves to others, and having self-doubts. In short, anything that gets in the way of our becoming who we were created to be. A powerful observation found in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success. This isn't just self-help. It's an existential challenge to dismantle the internal barriers we construct. Today, we're going to strip away the entertainment facade and discover the profound philosophical architecture beneath. We'll explore his unwavering belief in divine purpose, a core tenet that shapes every aspect of his advice. We'll unpack his surprising and deeply spiritual take on discipline, far beyond mere habit formation, as when he revealed in a discussion with Joe Rogan that Ramadan isn't about deprivation, it's about liberation from your lower self, the one that always wants more, 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 the one that's never satisfied. This isn't just about faith. It's about conquering the self. We'll dissect his radical approach to failure, not as an end, but as a crucial step, echoing his conviction that every time you fail, you get information, you get experience, you get clarity about what works and what doesn't, a lesson he shared in a powerful YouTube motivation piece. This perspective transforms setback into strategy, fear into fuel. And perhaps most profoundly, we will examine his compelling philosophy on legacy and the ethical responsibility of a life well lived. As he movingly penned in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, the only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. This isn't just about leaving a mark. It's about making every moment count towards a deeper purpose. So, prepare to reevaluate everything you thought you knew about Steve Harvey. This isn't just an analysis of a public figure. It's an invitation to confront your own untapped potential, to understand the foundational principles that lead to a life of profound impact. Get ready to embark on a transformative exploration that promises to resonate long after the laughter fades. Beyond the boisterous laughter and sharp-witted observations, Steve Harvey offers a profound, almost spiritual roadmap for life, one that begins with the undeniable conviction that each of us is born with a divine blueprint, a unique purpose etched into our very being. He believes, with unwavering faith, that God has not just a plan for you, but a specific gift and a calling embedded within you, waiting to be unearthed and unleashed. This isn't some abstract theological concept for Harvey. It's the very foundation of a meaningful life. He makes a critical distinction that cuts through the noise of societal expectations, stating, "Your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. This wisdom, oft repeated in his motivational talks and articles, forces us to re-evaluate our pursuits. Are we simply trading hours for dollars, or are we actively engaged in the sacred work we were truly designed for? It's a challenge to look past the practicalities and into the divine intention. So, how do you find this profound purpose? Harvey gives us a powerful clue, urging us, do not ignore your gift. Your gift is the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Think about that for a moment. What comes effortlessly to you? What task feels like play, yet produces exceptional results? For some, it's storytelling. For others, it's organizing chaos. For many, it's connecting with people on a deep level. Your gift isn't necessarily what you've been told you should be good at, or even what society values most. It's that inherent talent, that natural inclination that flows from your soul, almost without conscious thought. It's what you were made for, not just what you've been conditioned to do. But discovering this gift is only the first step. The true transformation, the alignment with God's plan, demands an act of profound courage, the jump. In his powerful book, Jump, Take the Leap of Faith to Achieve Your Life of Abundance, and in countless addresses, Harvey has championed this concept. He tells us, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. He warns us that when you jump, I can assure you that your parachute will not open right away. But if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. If you're safe, you'll never soar. This isn't just about career change. It's about choosing faith over fear, diving headfirst into the unknown, trusting that the universe, or God, will catch you. He understands the terror of that leap, admitting in a deeply personal YouTube reflection, it takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise from God. This isn't a glib platitude. It's a testament forged in personal struggle and ultimate triumph. To overcome the internal resistance, he reveals his mental fortitude. I make my dreams bigger than all my fears, a mantra he shared in another powerful YouTube segment. It's about cultivating an internal landscape where the potential of your calling overshadows the paralyzing grip of doubt. When you align your career with your calling, when you truly commit to using your God-given gift, the transformation is seismic. It's no longer just work. It's purpose in motion. You stop working for a paycheck and start living your true assignment. Harvey articulates this perfectly in his 2017 Strayer University commencement address, when he declared, "You have a life that God has planned for you. If you quit doing the one you want to do and do the one he got for you, it'll turn out way better than the one you got planned." This isn't a sacrifice. It's an upgrade, an invitation into a life of abundance and profound satisfaction that mere ambition can never deliver. Furthermore, this calling is rarely just for you. Steve Harvey believes deeply in the concept of paying it forward. As summarized from Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, he teaches that God blesses you to become a blesser. Your gift is meant to serve, to uplift, to transform the lives of others. He himself embodies this, stating to Fearless Motivation, "My calling is to help people, to teach people, to share with people, until I die. I can never stop doing that. I can't, and I don't want to." This selfless dedication is the ultimate expression of living one's divine blueprint. Of course, even a divine gift requires cultivation. It demands discipline. In a profound YouTube message on daily habits, he explains, small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need money. You don't need enormous motivation. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need commitment. A small step repeated daily becomes a habit. A habit becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your destiny. This reveals that aligning with your calling isn't about one grand gesture, but a continuous, intentional commitment to honing your gift through consistent effort, slowly but surely shaping your reality. Ultimately, living out your divine gift and calling is about crafting a legacy. It's about how you utilize the precious time you've been given. And act like a success, think like a success. He provides a sober and yet inspiring reflection. The next homegoing service at your church could be yours. And the most important thing on that day won't be the amount of flowers that surround your casket or how well the choir sings your favorite hymn. The only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. Your calling isn't just about achieving. It's about what you contribute, what you embody, and the positive ripples you send through the world. As he eloquently put it in a YouTube discussion about death, legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence even when you are gone. When you truly sow into the universe with your passion and commitment to others, as he described, and act like a success, think like a success, you blossom and create a lasting impact. Your divine blueprint, your gift, your calling, these aren't just pathways to personal success, but channels for love, kindness, and transformation that continue long after your physical presence fades. So listen closely. What is that quiet whisper in your soul? What is the thing you do with the least effort, yet with the most joy? What is your calling, the purpose you were truly made for? Don't ignore it. Have the courage to jump, to trust the divine plan, and to transform not just your own life, but the world around you, one blessed step at a time. You've heard the call, that quiet whisper guiding you toward your divine blueprint, urging you to jump. But how do you build the bridge to that future self, the one capable of catching that parachute midair? For Steve Harvey, the answer lies not in grand gestures, but in the relentless, often unseen, grind of daily discipline. He doesn't just preach success. He lays out the architectural plans for building it, brick by consistent brick. And at the foundation of that structure, your mornings. Harvey understands that before you conquer the world, you must first conquer yourself. He sees each sunrise not just as a new day, but as a fresh confrontation, stating profoundly in a YouTube motivational segment, every morning is a new battle, and your mind decides whether you win or lose. It's a stark reminder that the war for your destiny isn't fought on distant battlefields, but right there, in the quiet solitude of your awakening hours. It's where your commitment to yourself is truly tested, long before the demands of the external world encroach. Think about it. Who are you when no one else is watching? Are you the person who hits snooze, or the one who rises with intention? Harvey champions a strategic, almost sacred, approach to those early hours. He outlines a series of seemingly tiny actions that, when strung together, become a powerful chain reaction. In one of his impactful YouTube sessions, 12 Morning Habits That Will Build Your Mind and Change Your Life, he reveals his blueprint. Waking up early, journaling, exercising for 10 minutes, reading a few pages, organizing your thoughts, practicing gratitude. These aren't just suggestions. They are the non-negotiables for the person serious about transforming their life. He stresses that these simple acts lift your mood, improve your clarity, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your resilience. It's an alchemy of self-improvement, where one good habit leads to another, and soon your entire day starts reflecting the discipline you showed in the first few minutes of the morning. This isn't about monumental leaps, but deliberate, manageable steps. Harvey demystifies the path to greatness, explaining that small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need a lavish budget, an overflowing well of motivation, or even perfect circumstances. What you truly need, he insists in that same YouTube teaching, is commitment. He paints a vivid picture of this cumulative power. A small step repeated daily becomes a habit. A habit becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your destiny. This isn't just theory. It's a testament to the compounding effect of consistent effort, turning microscopic actions into an unstoppable force that shapes your entire existence. Central to this philosophy is the profound concept of self-trust. Harvey speaks with conviction about the promises we make to ourselves and the devastating impact of breaking them. In a YouTube discussion on daily habits for personality and confidence, he challenges us directly. If you can't keep your word to yourself, how can you expect others to trust or respect you? He then delivers the ultimate truth. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and the person you want to become, and keeping promises to yourself is the foundation of that bridge. Imagine that bridge, each kept promise, no matter how small, is a sturdy plank, reinforcing your belief in your own capability, your own integrity. It's about showing up for yourself, proving that you are reliable, even when the only witness is the reflection in the mirror. This relentless commitment to small, consistent actions, he argues, is far more potent than sporadic bursts of intense effort. In a powerful message titled, "Force Yourself to Improve," he proclaims, consistency beats intensity because it builds momentum. He clarifies that true progress isn't about luck, but about persistence. Once you start pushing yourself daily, you begin to trust yourself more. You see progress not because you got lucky, but because you kept going. That creates confidence, real confidence, the kind that comes from proving to yourself that you can do hard things. This isn't an external validation, but an internal, unshakable knowing that you are capable of overcoming challenges because you've consistently shown up for the work. But what stops us from laying these foundational bricks? Harvey identifies the ultimate saboteur, ourselves. In his book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, he candidly states, we become our own opposition when we accept the following: procrastinating, lying to ourselves, comparing ourselves to others, and having self-doubts. In short, anything that gets in the way of our becoming who we were created to be. Procrastination, in particular, is an insidious enemy. He warns in a motivation article that procrastination will delay your change. Today is a very good day to change. Don't let you stop yourself from growing. The architects of our best selves must actively dismantle these internal roadblocks, choosing action over inertia, honesty over self-deception. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about a deeper liberation. Harvey's philosophy touches on an even more profound level of self-mastery. In a revealing discussion on the Joe Rogan Experience about Ramadan, he offered an insight that transcends religious practice. Ramadan isn't about deprivation. It's about liberation from your lower self, the one that always wants more, 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 the one that's never satisfied. This lower self is the one that fuels procrastination, self-doubt, and inconsistency. True discipline, then, isn't a punitive measure, but a pathway to freedom from the impulses that hold you back from your highest potential. It's about training your desires, not letting them control you. So as you stand at the threshold of a new day, consider the profound wisdom of Steve Harvey. Recognize that the journey to your calling begins not with a grand announcement, but with a quiet, disciplined commitment to yourself. Embrace the morning battle. Lay those small, consistent bricks of positive habits. Keep the promises you make to yourself, building that unbreakable bridge of self-trust. For in these daily rituals, in this unwavering consistency, you are not just building a better day. You are architecting a resilient mind, forging an unshakable character, and ultimately shaping the destiny you are always meant to claim. This is how you don't just aspire to greatness. This is how you become it. We live in a world that often teaches us to fear failure, to avoid it at all costs, to see it as the polar opposite of success. But what if that perspective is precisely what's holding us back? What if, in fact, the greatest secret to achieving our dreams lies not in avoiding failure, but in embracing it, in understanding its profound transformative power? This is where the wisdom of Steve Harvey truly shines, offering a radical redefinition of what it means to fall down on the path to greatness. For Steve Harvey, failure isn't a dead end. It's a necessary detour, a crucial piece of the map to your ultimate destination. He doesn't just tolerate mistakes. He sees them as the very engine of progress. As he succinctly put it in a motivational article, growth is in a series of mistakes. That's the only way you learn. Think about that for a moment. He's not suggesting you merely learn from your mistakes, but that growth is found within them. They are not incidents to be regretfully analyzed, but the very fabric of your evolution. This perspective flips the script on one of humanity's most paralyzing forces, the fear of failure. Harvey often states, in various talks and in his book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, that the number one cause of failure in this country is the fear of failure. It's not the failure itself that stops us. It's the terrifying anticipation of it. It's the mental paralysis that prevents us from even starting, from taking that initial leap of faith, because we're so consumed by the potential for a stumble. We become our own opposition. As he wrote in Act Like a Success, think like a success, when we allow self-doubts and fears to get in the way of becoming who we were created to be. He understands that the longer you avoid confronting your fears, the larger and more intimidating they become your mind. Recounting his own experiences in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, he mused, what I learned from that moment is that when you face your fears, they aren't as big as you thought they were. What makes them big is when you don't turn around to face them head on. The longer you avoid your fears, the bigger they grow in your mind. This isn't just about courage. It's about strategic confrontation. It's about recognizing that the monster under the bed is often just a shadow, but it remains a monster until you turn on the light and truly see it for what it is. So, how do you dismantle this fear? You change your relationship with failure. You begin to see every setback, every stumble, every misstep, not as a judgment of your worth or a sign to quit, but as invaluable information. In a powerful YouTube message on consistency, Harvey declared, every time you fail, you get information, you get experience, you get clarity about what works and what doesn't. If you avoid failure at all costs, you avoid learning, you avoid growth, and you avoid greatness. Failure is the training ground for success. Consider those words deeply. Failure is the training ground for success. It's where you hone your skills, test your assumptions, and forge the resilience required to truly win. This isn't just theory. It's a lived philosophy. When you face adversity, when your plans unravel, when you experience a moment that feels like a defeat, Steve Harvey would challenge you to reframe it. Don't lick your wounds. Instead, embrace the lesson. And act like a lady, think like a man, he powerfully stated. During adversity is not the time to lick your wounds. Failures make you who you are. They are not moments to diminish you, but to define you, to shape the character of the champion you are destined to become. Think of it this way. Your journey is a classroom, and failure is a demanding but incredibly effective teacher. It highlights your blind spots, strengthens your resolve, and forces you to innovate. It pushes you to find new strategies, to refine your approach, to truly understand the dynamics of your ambition. As he encourages in his book Jump, use adversity to your advantage. Don't let it stop you. It's an active process. You don't just endure failure. You leverage it. You extract its lessons, you absorb its wisdom, and you transform it into momentum. This is the ultimate perspective shift. A setback is not a step backward. It's simply a change of direction, a redirect, or as Harvey famously puts it in a motivation article, your setback is just a setup for a comeback. It's a divine recalibration, an opportunity to assess, adjust, and then launch forward with newfound clarity and an unshakable resolve. He even proposes a radical idea in a so brief summary of Act Like a Success. Think like a success. You can't win until you lose. This isn't fatalism. It's a profound recognition that true victory is often forged in the fires of defeat, that the deepest understanding of success comes only after knowing what it feels like to fall short. So the next time you face a challenge, a rejection, or a plan that doesn't unfold as you imagined, Resist the urge to retreat. Resist the narrative of defeat. Instead, lean into Steve Harvey's wisdom. Remind yourself that this isn't the end. It's just the beginning of your learning curve. This isn't a sign to stop. It's information telling you how to get better. This isn't a setback. It's your unique setup for a comeback, a crucial training session in the forge of resilience, preparing you for the greatness that awaits. Embrace the fall, learn the lesson, and then rise, not just because you have to, but because every failure has only sharpened the tools for your inevitable success. This is how you transform obstacles into stepping stones and unlock the unwavering potential within you. There comes a moment in every life when you stand on the precipice of possibility, looking down into an abyss of uncertainty. It's the moment when the comfort of the known clashes with the terrifying pull of the unknown. And in that pivotal space, Steve Harvey doesn't just ask you to look. He demands that you jump. This isn't a metaphorical hop over a puddle. It's a profound spiritual plunge into the deepest desires of your soul, fueled by an unwavering faith that something beyond your current sight will catch you. For Harvey, safety isn't synonymous with success. It's the very cage that prevents you from realizing your divine potential. As he starkly puts it, and a message echoed across various motivation articles and platforms, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. When you jump, I can assure you that your parachute will not open right away. But if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. If you're safe, you'll never soar. Consider that for a moment. The terrifying truth that your parachute will not open right away. It's an honest, unvarnished look at the initial free fall, the vulnerability, the doubt, the sheer terror that often accompanies the pursuit of a dream. Most people, faced with that agonizing descent, will opt for the illusion of safety, forever anchored to the ground, never knowing the exhilarating rush of the wind beneath their wings. But Harvey challenges us to confront this initial period of fear, understanding that it's a necessary rite of passage. He knows the primary obstacle isn't the jump itself, but the paralysis leading up to it. In his wisdom, shared in various motivational insights, and within the pages of Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, he highlights the number one cause of failure in this country is the fear of failure. It's this insidious fear that whispers caution, that magnifies every potential pitfall, creating a comfortable prison of procrastination. But as Harvey implores, procrastination will delay your change. Today is a very good day to change. Don't let you stop yourself from growing. This isn't just about external barriers. It's about the internal resistance we build against our own greatness. The true art of the jump lies in making your resolve bigger than your apprehension. Harvey himself confesses on YouTube's Steve Harvey's powerful advice, believe in your journey. I make my dreams bigger than all my fears. This isn't an absence of fear. It's a conscious decision to overshadow it with the magnitude of your vision. He teaches us that fear, left unchallenged, metastasizes in the mind. As he candidly shared in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success. What I learned from that moment is that when you face your fears, they aren't as big as you thought they were. What makes them big is when you don't turn around to face them head on. The longer you avoid your fears, the bigger they grow in your mind. The jump isn't just an act of faith. It's an act of courage that shrinks the monsters we've imagined. This leap is intrinsically linked to discovering your divine purpose, your calling. As he explains across various platforms, your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. The jump is often about shedding the comfort of a career that pays the bills but starves the soul in pursuit of that calling that ignites your spirit. It's about trusting that the unique gift you possess, the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort, as he notes in motivation articles, is not accidental, but divinely placed for a specific purpose. And this is where the divine promise enters the equation. Harvey believes deeply in a God who orchestrates paths. He asserts in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success. God has already lined up all the people in your path to get you to your dreams and your visions. All you have to do is get rid of the wrong ones. This isn't a passive waiting game. It's an active readiness to jump, to volunteer for the divine plan. On YouTube, he emphasizes, God really does want to use you as an example of what he can do. You just got to volunteer. The moment you commit, you unlock a supernatural support system. The parachute will not open right away. Yes, but Steve Harvey offers a powerful assurance, drawn from his own experiences and shared on YouTube. It takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually the parachute has to open. That is a promise from God. This is the core of the art of the jump, the unwavering faith that despite the initial freefall, despite the cost, the divine promise guarantees a landing. When you take that leap, when you embrace the period of uncertainty, when you trust in the unseen parachute, the rewards are immeasurable. In his book, Jump, Take the Leap of Faith to Achieve Your Life of Abundance, he promises, your willingness to jump will open doors for you. Every jump will increase your wisdom and broaden your vision. You don't just survive. You soar. You don't just achieve. You unlock an abundance that would have been unimaginable from the safety of the ground. You become an example, a testament to what happens when faith overrides fear. As he reminds us in a summary of, act like a success, think like a success, God blesses you to become a blesser. Your jump isn't just for you. It's a beacon for others, a demonstration of the power of courage and divine trust. So, where is your ledge? What dream, what calling, what true purpose is waiting for you to take that terrifying, exhilarating leap? Understand that the discomfort of the fall is temporary, a brief moment of vulnerability before the ultimate reward. Let go of the illusion of safety, for true safety is found not in avoiding the jump, but in the unwavering belief that your divine parachute is always eventually on its way. Embrace the free fall, for it is only then that you can truly begin to soar beyond anything you ever imagined. But what does it mean to truly soar? For Steve Harvey, the ultimate flight isn't just about personal achievement. It's about the altitude of your spirit and the depth of your impact. He posits a profound truth about success. Success is not just about your ability to achieve, but also your ability to serve through sharing. This isn't a mere suggestion. It's the very core of what he believes constitutes true prosperity, rooted in the legacy we build. He challenges us to look beyond the immediate gratification, past the accolades and material gains, and consider a future moment that puts everything into stark perspective. In a poignant reflection from his book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, Steve Harvey confronts us with our own mortality. The next homegoing service at your church could be yours, he continues, revealing that the only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. That tiny hyphen, often overlooked, represents the entirety of your existence. It is not merely a marker of time, but a canvas upon which you paint your purpose, a testament to what you truly stood for. What will your dash say about you? Will it speak of a life consumed by self-interest, or one dedicated to lifting others? Steve Harvey is unequivocal. Great people change other people's lives. Great people put other people's needs in front of theirs, as he powerfully declared in his 2016 Alabama State University commencement address. This isn't a call to self-sacrifice unto depletion, but a powerful invitation to embrace your innate capacity to bless. It's an understanding that when God blesses you, it's always to become a blesser. It is a sacred trust, a divine mandate to pour back into the world that which has been poured into you. He speaks of this universal law of reciprocity, observing that when you aren't sowing into the soil of the universe, you notice that things in your life just seem to dry up and get worse. It's a powerful image, a parched existence devoid of true fulfillment. But the solution, he assures us in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, is simple yet profound. But when you sow back into the universe with your time, your passion, and your commitment to others, the world will offer abundant opportunities for you to blossom into the new you. This isn't mere charity. It's cosmic agriculture. You don't just give. You cultivate abundance in your own life by enriching the lives of others. It's an ethical imperative, a spiritual investment that yields untold returns. This commitment to service, to teaching, to sharing is not a temporary phase for Harvey. As he shared in a Fearless Motivation article, it is his very calling until I die. I can never stop doing that. I can't, and I don't want to. It's a testament to the profound satisfaction that comes from living a life of purpose-driven service, a life so aligned with one's gift that it becomes inseparable from one's very being. The true measure of this cultivated life, this dash well lived, is legacy. Yet Harvey redefines legacy beyond superficial fame. In a reflective YouTube message on what happens after death, he says, "Legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence even when you are gone. It's not about monuments, but resonance. Not about headlines, but heartlines. What truly endures," he explains in that same powerful message, "is the impact they created through their character, their actions, and their heart. Love continues through the people who were shaped by it. Kindness continues through those who were transformed by it. Legacy continues through the story's habits, values, and lessons passed down to others. Your presence, therefore, isn't just a physical manifestation. It's an energetic imprint, a ripple effect of goodness that transcends your mortal coils." This perspective on legacy is intrinsically linked to his unique understanding of time and death. For Steve Harvey, confronting mortality isn't morbid, it's profoundly liberating. If your time is fixed, not adjustable, not negotiable, he shared in a powerful YouTube discussion explaining Islam's truth about life and the afterlife, then all that stressing we do, all that fear, all that anxiety about what if, man, that stuff starts to look real small. It provides an immediate antidote to the trivial worries that consume our daily lives, urging us to focus on what truly matters. Death, in Harvey's view, is not an ending but an ultimate clarity, an unveiling. He cautions us against self-deception, stating in that same profound YouTube segment, "The scary part isn't death. The scary part is lying to yourself. Death is just the unveiling, the moment the lights come on, the moment you see what you've really built, not what you convinced yourself you built. It is a moment of unvarnished truth, where the illusions we've meticulously crafted dissolve, leaving only the authentic impact of our lives." By embracing this stark reality, we are prompted to live with profound intention. As he articulated in another YouTube message reflecting on death, by reflecting on death, people learn how to truly live with intention, gratitude, understanding, and a heart that values every moment they are given. The fragility of life, far from instilling fear, increases the sweetness of every experience. It motivates us to be present, to slow down, and to appreciate the people we love while we still can. It reminds us that every breath is a gift, every interaction an opportunity to leave a positive imprint. So, as you navigate your own journey, remember the dash. Remember that between the two indelible dates on your tombstone lies the story you are actively writing right now. Are you waiting for success to bless you, or are you becoming the blesser? Are you accumulating for yourself, or sowing into the universe? Your legacy isn't some distant aspiration. It's built moment by moment, choice by choice, in the quiet acts of service, the genuine expressions of love, and the unwavering commitment to uplifting those around you. Let your dash be a testament to a life lived not just for yourself, but for the echo of eternity you leave behind. Gratitude, for Steve Harvey, is far more than a fleeting emotion. It's a deliberate, active posture, an unwavering choice that profoundly shapes one's reality. It's the daily decision to recognize and acknowledge the divine hand in your life, thereby setting the stage for more blessings. It isn't about passively waiting for good things to happen to then be grateful. It's about actively cultivating gratitude as a means to invite good things into existence. Steve Harvey often shares that his success and profound sense of peace are deeply entwined with his unwavering connection to a higher power. For him, honoring God isn't a passive act. It's a foundational principle that reshapes his entire reality. He describes a powerful, almost tangible presence of divine support, articulating in his book, Jump, a profound affirmation. Because I honor him, his blessings will chase me down and overtake me. I will be in the right place at the right time. People will go out of their way to be good to me. I am surrounded by God's favor. This isn't just a hopeful wish. It's a confident declaration rooted in a proactive posture of thankfulness, an acknowledgement of stewardship over the blessings already received. This sense of being surrounded by God's favor isn't a magical charm, but rather the natural outcome of a disciplined mindset. It implies a daily practice of seeing the good, acknowledging every sunrise, and refusing to let negativity overshadow the inherent grace of existence. It's an active hunt for the silver lining, a deliberate choice to perceive challenges as setups for comebacks, and to accept the flow of life with an open heart. When he urges listeners, wake up and smile. Wake up and be grateful. In various motivational articles, he's not just offering a pleasant suggestion. He's prescribing a vital daily ritual, an opening of your spirit to receive the good that is already present or on its way. It's the quiet understanding that your willingness to appreciate what you have creates more space for what is yet to come. Part of this active gratitude stems from a profound awareness of life's impermanence. Harvey understands that to truly appreciate the gift of living, one must acknowledge its finite nature. He articulates this beautifully in a powerful message, shared on YouTube, about what happens after death. The fragility of life increases the sweetness of every experience. It motivates us to be present, to slow down, and to appreciate the people we love while we still can. This isn't a morbid reflection, but a vibrant call to presence. When you truly grasp the precious brevity of each moment, gratitude becomes less of an option and more of an imperative. You stop taking things for granted. Every laugh, every challenge overcome, every shared meal becomes a sacred offering. It sharpens your focus on what truly matters, cutting through the noise of trivial concerns. This appreciation of life's delicate balance and the favor bestowed upon you naturally leads to the understanding that blessings aren't meant to terminate with you. They are meant to flow through you. Steve Harvey emphasizes the cyclical nature of divine favor, noting in summaries of Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, that God blesses you to become a blesser. This isn't just a nice sentiment. It's a fundamental tenet of his philosophy. To be truly blessed is to participate in the act of blessing others. It's to understand that the abundance you receive is not for hoarding, but for sowing. Your ability to give back is a testament to the favor you've received, completing a virtuous circle. He elaborates on this reciprocal relationship with the universe, explaining in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, that when you aren't sowing into the soil of the universe, you notice that things in your life just seem to dry up and get worse. But when you sow back into the universe with your time, your passion, and your commitment to others, the world will offer abundant opportunities for you to blossom into the new you. This concept of sowing is critical. It transforms gratitude from a feeling into an action, a commitment to give of yourself, your resources, your wisdom, your love, not just for personal gain, but to enrich the collective. It's a recognition that your blessings are a seed, and when planted through acts of kindness and service, they yield an even greater harvest, not just for you, but for the world around you. So for Steve Harvey, gratitude isn't a passive thank you. It's the engine of divine flow. It's the active posture that aligns you with universal abundance, allowing blessings to chase you down. It's the profound appreciation for life's precious moments, spurred by the awareness of its fragility. And critically, it's the commitment to become a conduit for those blessings, transforming yourself into a blesser, sowing goodness into the world, and in doing so, creating a limitless cycle of receiving and giving. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about participating in a grander design, stewarding the favor you've been given, and in turn, opening yourself up to an even deeper, more profound experience of life. It's a call to elevate your daily existence, to recognize the sacred in the mundane, and to consciously create a life that not only receives favor, but radiates it to everyone you encounter. Steve Harvey, a name synonymous with laughter, sharp wit, and a no-nonsense approach to life. But beneath the polished suits and the punchlines lies a philosopher, a spiritual guide whose wisdom transcends the everyday. He's not just talking about success. He's talking about something far more profound, the very nature of existence and, perhaps surprisingly, the ultimate truth revealed by death itself. For Harvey, death isn't an end. It's an unveiling. It's a concept he articulated powerfully, suggesting the scary part isn't death. The scary part is lying to yourself. Death is just the unveiling, the moment the lights come on, the moment you see what you've really built, not what you convinced yourself you built. This isn't a grim warning. It's a radical call to authenticity. Imagine for a moment that moment of ultimate truth, when all the facades crumble and you're left with the unvarnished reality of your life's construction. Did you build with intention, integrity, and love, or with ego, superficiality, and fear? Harvey challenges us to confront this question long before that final unveiling, to live in such a way that when those lights come on, there are no regrets, no elaborate self-deceptions left to maintain. This profound perspective fundamentally reorients how we view our time here. As he wisely observed, the only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. That dash. A tiny symbol on a tombstone, yet it encapsulates an entire lifetime of choices, actions, and impacts. It's a powerful reminder that our existence isn't just a linear march towards an inevitable conclusion, but an urgent invitation to fill every second with purpose. And what about all the worry, the anxiety, the endless stressing over what might be? Harvey offers a stark, yet liberating truth about our limited time. He says, if your time is fixed, not adjustable, not negotiable, then all that stressing we do, all that fear, all that anxiety about what if, man, that stuff starts to look real small. This isn't permission for recklessness, but a profound encouragement to release the burdens that don't serve your true purpose. If time is a finite, precious resource, why squander it on things that will ultimately prove inconsequential in the grand unveiling? Why not invest it in what truly matters? Reflecting on our mortality, paradoxically, doesn't lead to despair. It ignites a fiercer, more vibrant appreciation for life. As Steve Harvey has shared, by reflecting on death, people learn how to truly live with intention, gratitude, understanding, and a heart that values every moment they are given. It's an urgent call to be present, to slow down, to cherish. He elaborates on this, noting, the fragility of life increases the sweetness of every experience. It motivates us to be present, to slow down, and to appreciate the people we love while we still can. This isn't about morbid fascination. It's about maximizing the human experience, savoring the richness of connections, and finding joy in the simple, often overlooked moments. So if death is an unveiling, and time is fixed, what then truly lives on? Is it the accolades, the wealth, the fleeting fame? Harvey unequivocally says no. He tells us, legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence even when you are gone. Think about that for a moment. Depth over volume. The quiet resonance of a life well lived, a presence that continues to inspire and influence long after the physical form has departed. He then paints an even clearer picture of what endures. What truly lives on is the impact they created through their character, their actions, and their heart. Love continues through the people who were shaped by it. Kindness continues through those who were transformed by it. Legacy continues through the story's habits, values, and lessons passed down to others. This is the ultimate blueprint for intentional living. It's about building a legacy not with bricks and mortar, but with the intangible, yet infinitely powerful elements of character, compassion, and shared wisdom. It's about being a conduit for goodness, knowing that every act of love, every gesture of kindness, every value you impart creates ripples that extend far beyond your own lifetime. You become, as he often puts it, a blesser. And for those who feel lost, who question their purpose, Steve Harvey offers a powerful reassurance that ties directly into his spiritual worldview. He says, "The reason you know that God has something more for you is because he wakes you up in the morning. The moment that God ain't got nothing else for you, he ain't got nothing else he wants you to do, he ain't got nothing else he wants to send your way, you will not wake up that morning. So if you're waking up, it's 'cause he ain't through with you." Every sunrise is a testament to unfulfilled potential, a renewed opportunity to align your dash with your divine calling, to sow into the soil of the universe, and to live a life that, when finally unveiled, reflects true impact, authentic character, and a heart overflowing with love. This isn't just about achieving. It's about becoming. It's about living so profoundly, so intentionally, that your presence is felt, your love remembered, and your legacy woven into the very fabric of those you touched forever. When we talk about Steve Harvey, many picture the quick wit, the beaming smile, the game show host. But beneath that accessible surface lies a profound architect of connection, particularly in the realm of relationships. His insights, distilled from decades of observation and personal growth, offer not just advice, but a blueprint for building a life rich in self-respect, clear boundaries, and intentional companionship. His philosophy isn't merely about finding a partner. It's about becoming the person who attracts and maintains profound, supportive connections, starting with yourself. Steve Harvey doesn't mince words when it comes to self-worth, especially for women navigating the complexities of dating. He implores, as he famously articulated in Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, that men respect standards, get some. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a foundational principle. It challenges you to look inward and define what you truly deserve, to articulate your non-negotiables, and to hold firm to them. Your standards are not walls to keep others out, but rather beacons that guide the right people in and signal your inherent value. Harvey further advises that you control what you can control, your image, the way you conduct yourself, the way you let men talk to and approach you, and use that to get the relationship you want. This is a powerful call to personal agency, liberating you from passive waiting and empowering you to actively curate the energy and respect you invite into your life. He delves deeper into the often feared territory of direct communication within relationships. In Straight Talk, No Chaser, Harvey points out a common pitfall. You don't dig deeper because you're scared that if the questions run too deep, he will run off. This fear, he suggests, is a self-sabotaging act that prevents true intimacy and understanding. It encourages superficiality, trapping individuals in relationships that lack the depth required for genuine connection. To truly build a lasting relationship, you must be willing to excavate the foundation, to ask the difficult questions that reveal character and intent. Harvey provides a sobering, yet empowering, perspective on change within relationships. He unequivocally states, in his insights drawn from Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, and further explored in Straight Talk, No Chaser, that all men can change, but that doesn't mean that all men will change. There's only one woman whom we will change for. If a man is not willing to change, it means that you aren't the one. This isn't about blame or cynicism. It's about discernment and valuing your time. It's a profound teaching on recognizing when to invest and when to gracefully withdraw, saving your emotional capital for someone who sees you as their singular catalyst for transformation. He gives women a clear benchmark for genuine commitment, declaring in a summary of Straight Talk, No Chaser, that a man who truly loves you will do three things: profess his love for you publicly, protect you by any means necessary, and provide for you, no matter if it means there's nothing left for himself. This isn't just about grand gestures. It's about consistent, tangible actions that demonstrate unwavering dedication and a deep-seated desire to ensure your well-being. Moving beyond the common narrative of men being intimidated by successful women, Harvey offers a crucial nuance in straight talk. No chaser, highlighting that men don't mind strong, independent, capable women by any stretch. What they desire is to feel needed and to have a role in the relationship, underscoring the importance of emotional connections over mere status. This insight is transformative because it shifts the focus from a woman's strength being a deterrent to understanding a man's innate drive for purpose and contribution within a partnership. It's not about needing a man to complete you, but recognizing that a healthy dynamic allows both partners to feel valued, indispensable, and to contribute to a shared vision. It's about creating a space where a man can step into his protector and provider role, not out of necessity, but out of love and a desire to serve the relationship. But Steve Harvey's philosophy extends beyond romantic partnerships to the entirety of your social ecosystem. He advocates for a rigorous, almost sacred, intentionality in choosing your circle. As he wisely counsels in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, you should be living your life surrounded by people who are like-minded, service-oriented, and grateful, people who are trying to accomplish things and who bring something to the table. This isn't merely about networking. It's about spiritual and personal alignment. These are the people who will amplify your purpose, challenge you to grow, and stand with you through your journey. He views life as a divinely orchestrated path, and your connections are no accident. In the same vein, he offers profound clarity, stating in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, that God has already lined up all the people in your path to get you to your dreams and your visions. All you have to do is get rid of the wrong ones. This is a powerful directive to prune your relationships, to release those who drain your energy, diminish your spirit, or divert you from your highest calling. It's an act of self-preservation and alignment, ensuring that your precious time and emotional investment are directed towards those who contribute to your flourishing. Ultimately, this architecture of connection, built on self-respect, clear standards, and intentional association, serves a greater purpose. It contributes to the legacy you forge, the impact you leave. As Harvey reminds us, reflecting on the essence of what remains after we are gone, what truly lives on is the impact they created through their character, their actions, and their heart. Love continues through the people who were shaped by it. Kindness continues through those who were transformed by it. Legacy continues through the story's habits, values, and lessons passed down to others. A profound sentiment he shared in a YouTube message about death. And as he thoughtfully noted in the same context, legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence, even when you are gone. Your relationships, therefore, are not just fleeting encounters. They are threads in the tapestry of your legacy. By applying Harvey's principles, by demanding respect, setting clear standards, and surrounding yourself with those who uplift and contribute, you aren't just building better relationships. You are architecting a life of purpose, connection, and lasting impact, ensuring that the love and kindness you sow continue to resonate long after your physical presence fades. This is the profound undertaking of living intentionally, guided by the wisdom of Steve Harvey. In the pursuit of purpose and external achievement, we often focus on the visible markers of success. But Steve Harvey invites us to look deeper, to understand that true mastery isn't just about what you conquer in the world, but what you liberate yourself from within. He introduces us to a powerful concept, the discipline of liberation from your lower self. It's a profound idea, one he articulated with striking clarity in a discussion with Joe Rogan. There, Harvey explained, Ramadan isn't about deprivation. It's about liberation from your lower self. the one that always wants more, the one that's never satisfied. This isn't just about a religious observation. It's a universal truth about the human condition. Our lower self is that insatiable part of us, the constant craving for instant gratification, the ceaseless whisper of desire that keeps us tethered to fleeting pleasures and self-defeating patterns. It's the part that prevents genuine contentment, always demanding, never truly fulfilled. This internal opponent, this lower self, is far more formidable than any external challenge. As Harvey revealed in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, we become our own opposition when we accept the following: procrastinating, lying to ourselves, comparing ourselves to others, and having self-doubts. In short, anything that gets in the way of our becoming who we were created to be. Consider that for a moment. We become our opposition. It's not the world holding us back, but the insidious habits and mental traps we allow to take root. Procrastination, that thief of potential, convinces us tomorrow is better than today. The subtle lies we tell ourselves about our capabilities or circumstances, the endless scroll of comparison that diminishes our unique light, the whispers of self-doubt that paralyze ambition. These are the chains of the lower self. So, how do we break free? Harvey reminds us, in a powerful YouTube message on daily habits, that every morning is a new battle, and your mind decides whether you win or lose. This isn't a passive observation. It's a call to arms for your consciousness. The fight for liberation begins the moment your eyes open, in the conscious choices you make to direct your thoughts and actions. It's about taking command of your inner landscape, refusing to let the impulsive, demanding voice of the lower self dictate your day. The foundation of this liberation, Harvey emphasizes, lies in self-trust. In another motivational YouTube address, he challenged us directly. If you can't keep your word to yourself, how can you expect others to trust or respect you? Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and the person you want to become and keeping. Promises to yourself is the foundation of that bridge. Think of it. Every time you commit to an early morning workout, a period of focused work, or simply saying no to a distracting urge, and then follow through, you are reinforcing that bridge. You are building confidence in yourself, showing your inner opposition that you are the one in control. This isn't about Herculean efforts. Harvey, in a video outlining transformative morning habits, teaches us that small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need money. You don't need enormous motivation. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need commitment. A small step repeated daily becomes a habit. A habit becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your destiny. This is the blueprint for internal freedom. It's the deliberate choice to wake up early, to journal, to exercise for just 10 minutes, to read a few pages, or to practice gratitude. These tiny, consistent actions create a chain reaction, lifting your mood, sharpening your focus, and strengthening your resilience. The power of this consistency, he explains in a message encouraging self-improvement, is undeniable. Consistency beats intensity because it builds momentum. Once you start pushing yourself daily, you begin to trust yourself more. You see progress not because you got lucky, but because you kept going. That creates confidence, real confidence, the kind that comes from proving to yourself that you can do hard things. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about proving to yourself that you are stronger than your desires, more disciplined than your doubts, and more committed to your higher self than to your lower self. True liberation, then, is the continuous act of choosing discipline over impulse, commitment over procrastination. It's the daily triumph over the internal opposition that seeks to keep you small and unfulfilled. By embracing these small, consistent disciplines, by keeping your word to yourself, you don't just achieve external success. You forge an unshakable inner freedom. You transform your mindset, shape your destiny, and step into the person you were truly created to be, unburdened by the endless demands of the lower self. This is the profound work of self-mastery, the journey to true internal liberation. Imagine for a moment you're Maya. You've climbed the corporate ladder, secured a comfortable salary, and earned the respect of your peers in a demanding field like marketing analytics. On paper, you're winning. Yet every evening, as you close your laptop, there's a quiet ache, a persistent whisper that feels more like a roar in your soul. It's the call of your true passion, storytelling through documentary filmmaking. You've always loved it, but the practicalities of a secure job, the fear of losing that stability, have kept the dream tucked away, a beautiful but unpursued fantasy. What would Steve Harvey tell Maya? He'd look her dead in the eye, with that signature blend of humor and absolute earnestness, and he'd get right to the heart of it. He'd say, "Your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for." He'd challenge her to ask herself, what is that thing you do with the absolute best, with the least amount of effort, the thing that fills you with unshakable purpose? He would insist, do not ignore your gift. That gift, that raw, God-given talent for seeing and telling stories through a lens, is not just a hobby. It's a divine assignment. The biggest hurdle for Maya isn't a lack of talent or opportunity. It's the suffocating grip of fear. The fear of uncertainty, of financial instability, of judgment, and most powerfully, the fear of failing. Steve Harvey understands this paralysis better than anyone. He often reminds us that the number one cause of failure in this country is the fear of failure. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a profound truth that stops countless people from ever taking their first step towards destiny. But Harvey doesn't want you to run from failure. He wants you to embrace it, to understand it as an essential companion on the path to greatness. He'd tell Maya, you can't win until you lose. Think about that. He sees failure not as an ending, but as vital information. As he shared in a powerful message, every time you fail, you get information, you get experience, you get clarity about what works and what doesn't. If you avoid failure at all costs, you avoid learning, you avoid growth, and you avoid greatness. Failure is the training ground for success. Maya's potential setbacks aren't roadblocks. They're lessons, pivots, signposts guiding her closer to what does work. Your setback, he'd declare, is just a setup for a comeback. And then comes the moment of truth, the jump. This is where many hesitate, frozen by the chasm between where they are and where they want to be. Harvey's message here is unequivocal. If you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. He knows the terror of that leap. He understands that when you jump, I can assure you that your parachute will not open right away. But his promise is unwavering. But if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. If you're safe, you'll never soar. He speaks from deep personal experience, acknowledging that it takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually the parachute has to open. That is a promise from God. This isn't a reckless gamble. It's an act of profound faith. For Harvey, every calling, every dream is ultimately part of a larger divine plan. He'd reassure Maya, you have a life that God has planned for you. If you quit doing the one you want to do and do the one he got for you, it'll turn out way better than the one you got planned. He believes God has already lined up all the people in your path to get you to your dreams and your visions. All you have to do is get rid of the wrong ones. And the most powerful affirmation? The reason you know that God has something more for you is because he wakes you up in the morning. So if you're waking up, it's because he ain't through with you. Once Maya takes that leap, the journey is sustained not by grand gestures, but by unyielding discipline. As he passionately discusses, small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need money. You don't need enormous motivation. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need commitment. A small step repeated daily becomes a habit. A habit becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your destiny. This consistency, he argues on YouTube, beats intensity because it builds momentum. It's in these small daily acts of showing up for her dream, for herself, that she builds real confidence, the kind that comes from proving to yourself that you can do hard things. He would tell her, discipline is the bridge between where you are now and the person you want to become, and keeping promises to yourself is the foundation of that bridge. Even reflecting on deep spiritual practices, he notes that something like Ramadan isn't about deprivation. It's about liberation from your lower self, the one that always wants more, the one that's never satisfied. This is the core of self-mastery needed to navigate the uncertainty of a new path. Finally, Harvey would compel Maya to consider her legacy. This isn't just about making films, it's about impact. Success is not just about your ability to achieve, but also your ability to serve through sharing. True success lives in our legacies. He'd make her understand that the only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you are born and the day you die. Her storytelling isn't just for her. It's a gift to the world, a way for her to become a blesser. Here's a Harvey-esque, step-by-step approach for Maya, and for anyone standing at a similar crossroads. 1. Identify your divine gift and calling. What truly brings you joy with minimal effort? What were you made for? As he advises, do not ignore your gift. Get crystal clear on that passion. 2. Confront your fears head on. Name every single what if. Write them down. Then, using Harvey's wisdom, reframe each fear as a potential lesson or a piece of valuable information. Understand that the number one cause of failure is the fear of failure itself. 3. Plan your jump, then execute it. While strategy is important, don't let planning become procrastination. Set a date, make a calculated leap of faith. Remember, if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. 4. Embrace the inevitability of failure. Expect setbacks. See them not as defeats, but as setups for a comeback, crucial steps in your learning journey. You can't win until you lose. 5. Implement unwavering daily discipline. Once you jump, commit to the small, consistent actions that build momentum. Wake up early, work on your craft daily, practice gratitude. This is how your mindset becomes your destiny. 6. Trust your divine purpose. Hold fast to the belief that you are on a path God designed for you. Each morning you wake up is a confirmation that He ain't through with you. 7. Focus on your legacy and service. How will your passion serve others? How will your unique gift make the world a better place? God blesses you to become a blesser. This isn't just about changing careers. It's about transforming your very existence. It's about silencing the internal opposition that holds you back and stepping fully into the person you were created to be. A life overflowing with purpose, impact, and an abundance born of courage and faith. Welcome back to What Would They Do? We've explored the foundations of Steve Harvey's philosophy, from his unwavering discipline to his profound views on legacy. Now, we're diving into the heart of transformation, building your blueprint, practical exercises for uncovering your purpose. This isn't just theory. It's about putting in the work to unearth the unique genius residing within you, the very gift Steve Harvey insists is your calling. Steve often declares, do not ignore your gift. Your gift is the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Then clarifies the distinction. Your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. This powerful idea shifts our perspective from chasing what's hard to discovering what flows effortlessly from our being. Your purpose isn't meant to be a struggle. It's meant to be a revelation of what you are uniquely designed to do. So, how do we uncover this innate gift? Let's start with a few practical exercises. First, let's engage in some deep journaling with the Effortless Excellence prompt. Grab a notebook and pen, or open a digital document. I want you to reflect on moments in your life, from childhood to yesterday, where you felt truly alive energized and engaged, almost as if time ceased to exist. These are the moments when you are operating in your gift. What were you doing? How did it feel? What were the results? Crucially, what did others say about your performance or your contribution in those moments? Did they praise you for something that felt almost embarrassingly easy for you to accomplish? This isn't about arrogance. It's about observation. List as many of these instances as you can recall. This exercise connects directly to Harvey's belief that you have a life that God has planned for you, and often that plan aligns with what comes naturally. Next, we move to the shadow skills reflection. Often, our greatest strengths are so deeply ingrained, so second nature, that we don't even perceive them as special. We dismiss them as just what I do. To illuminate these shadow skills, you need external eyes. I challenge you to reach out to 5 people who know you well. A close friend, a family member, a colleague, a mentor, even an old teacher. Ask them this specific question. What do you think I'm really good at that seems easy for me but hard for others? Be prepared to listen, truly listen, without defensiveness or dismissal. Their answers might surprise you, revealing patterns you've overlooked. Steve Harvey wisely points out, we become our own opposition when we accept the following: procrastinating, lying to ourselves, comparing ourselves to others, and having self-doubts. In short, anything that gets in the way of our becoming who we were created to be. This exercise helps bypass those self-doubts by giving you an objective mirror. Once you start to identify these glimmering threads of your gift, the next step is to consider its broader impact with the Impact and Service Vision Board Journal. Steve Harvey's philosophy is clear. God blesses you to become a blesser. Your gift isn't just for you. It's a tool for service. Take the insights from your journaling and reflections. Now, imagine those gifts amplified, used to uplift, inspire, or solve problems for others. What challenges in the world resonate with you? Who do you feel compelled to help? Create a vision board or dedicate a journal entry to envisioning how your unique talent could create positive change. How does this gift manifest as a blessing for others, or as an offering to the soil of the universe, as Harvey suggests? He posits, when you aren't sowing into the soil of the universe, you notice that things in your life just seem to dry up and get worse. But when you sow back into the universe with your time, your passion, and your commitment to others, the world will offer abundant opportunities for you to blossom into the new you. This isn't just about personal gain, but about creating a legacy. For as he teaches, success is not just about your ability to achieve, but also your ability to serve through sharing. True success lives in our legacies. Finally, we arrive at the jump experiment. Small scale. Identification is crucial, but action is transformative. Steve Harvey famously encourages us to jump. He states, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. When you jump, I can assure you that your parachute will not open right away. But if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. If you're safe, you'll never soar. This isn't an immediate call to abandon everything. It's about taking a conscious, intentional step. Identify one small, low-stakes way you can jump into actively using your newly recognized gift this week. Perhaps it's offering to organize an event, teach a skill, write a blog post, or volunteer your unique talent for a cause you believe in. It's a tangible, achievable action, reminding us that, as he observes, small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. This commitment builds self-trust and momentum. As he noted in a YouTube discussion, consistency beats intensity because it builds momentum. Once you start pushing yourself daily, you begin to trust yourself more. This journey of self-discovery, fueled by purposeful action, is deeply rooted in faith for Steve Harvey. Each morning you open your eyes, consider it a profound message. As he powerfully articulated in a 2017 Strayer University commencement address, the reason you know that God has something more for you is because he wakes you up in the morning, So if you're waking up, it's 'cause he ain't through with you. Embrace that truth. Your purpose is waiting to be fully lived. Don't waste the precious dash between the day you were born and the day you die. Use these exercises not just to find your gift, but to live it, to serve with it, and to build a legacy that resonates long after you are gone. Your blueprint is ready to be drawn. Now it's time to build. The silent battle for your day, for your dreams, often begins before the sun fully rises. Steve Harvey understands this intimately, stating that every morning is a new battle, and your mind decides whether you win or lose. This isn't just about waking up. It's about claiming the first moments, setting a tone, and building an internal fortress against the fear of failure and the inevitable setbacks life throws your way. Harvey's philosophy isn't about grand gestures, but about the profound power of tiny, consistent disciplines that transform your mindset and fuel your growth. He often speaks of how these small rituals become the bedrock of resilience. Think about it. Waking up early, taking a few minutes to journal, engaging in 10 minutes of exercise, reading a few pages of an inspiring book, organizing your thoughts, or simply practicing gratitude. In a powerful YouTube discussion on morning habits, Harvey outlined these exact actions, explaining how these tiny actions create a chain reaction. They lift your mood, improve your clarity, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your resilience. One good habit leads to another, and soon your entire day starts reflecting the discipline you showed in the first few minutes of the morning. This isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about intentionally crafting an environment where your mind can thrive. The essence of this daily practice, as Harvey highlights, is commitment to yourself. In one of his motivational YouTube videos, he challenged listeners, saying, "If you can't keep your word to yourself, how can you expect others to trust or respect you?" Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and the person you want to become, and keeping promises to yourself is the foundation of that bridge. Every promise kept, no matter how small, like getting up when the alarm first rings, or dedicating those 10 minutes to exercise, strengthens that bridge. It's how you build self-trust, brick by self-imposed, self-respected brick. This isn't deprivation. It's liberation, as Harvey once described the spirit of Ramadan on the Joe Rogan Experience, suggesting it's about liberation from your lower self, the one that always wants more, the one that's never satisfied. It's about taking control, not being controlled. Now let's talk about the giant that often looms over us, the fear of failure. Steve Harvey doesn't mince words here, frequently asserting that the number one cause of failure in this country is the fear of failure. It's the invisible chains that keep us from even attempting the jump, from pursuing the calling we feel deep in our bones. But Harvey offers a simple yet profound reframing. What I learned from that moment is that when you face your fears, they aren't as big as you thought they were. He further elaborated in act like a success, think like a success, that what makes them big is when you don't turn around to face them head on. The longer you avoid your fears, the bigger they grow in your mind. So the daily practice here is to acknowledge that fear, then turn and face it, rather than letting it dictate your direction. It's about consciously making your aspirations so compelling that, as he eloquently put it in a YouTube video titled Steve Harvey's Powerful Advice, believe in your journey. I make my dreams bigger than all my fears. And what of actual setbacks when you stumble or fall? Harvey insists these aren't endpoints, but vital steps on the path. He reminds us that your setback is just a setup for a comeback. In an article featuring Steve Harvey's motivation quotes, he shared a powerful insight. Growth is in a series of mistakes. That's the only way you learn. You simply cannot achieve success without navigating through a few losses. He stated in a so brief summary of act like a success, think like a success, that you can't win until you lose. This isn't a cliché. It's an acknowledgement of reality. Each misstep provides invaluable data. As he detailed in a YouTube discussion on consistency, Every time you fail, you get information, you get experience, you get clarity about what works and what doesn't. If you avoid failure at all costs, you avoid learning, you avoid growth, and you avoid greatness. Failure is the training ground for success. Embrace these moments not as failures, but as rigorous training sessions for your future triumphs. This perspective naturally leads to a powerful antidote for procrastination, that insidious habit that keeps us from engaging in the very daily practices that build resilience. Harvey warns that procrastination will delay your change. Today is a very good day to change. Don't let you stop yourself from growing. Act like a success. Think like a success. He described how procrastinators will weigh you down. Action is the prescription for moving forward. Action will eliminate boredom. Your daily practice, then, is to choose action, no matter how small, over delay. It's a declaration that you will not be your own opposition. As he wrote in the same book, we become our own opposition when we accept the following: procrastinating, lying to ourselves, comparing ourselves to others, and having self-doubts. Break that cycle with a single step. The path to resilience, to transforming fear into fuel, is paved with these small, achievable steps. As Harvey wisely articulated in a YouTube video about building your mind, small daily disciplines are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need money. You don't need enormous motivation. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need commitment. A small step repeated daily becomes a habit. A habit becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your destiny. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about consistently showing up for the person you were created to be. Consistency beats intensity, he explained in another powerful message from a YouTube video titled, "Force Yourself to Improve," because it builds momentum. Once you start pushing yourself daily, you begin to trust yourself more. You see progress not because you got lucky, but because you kept going. That creates confidence, real confidence, the kind that comes from proving to yourself that you can do hard things. So, starting today, claim your mornings. Commit to those tiny actions. Face your fears, understanding they shrink when confronted. See your setbacks as lessons, not end games. And let every single, consistent step you take build that unshakable self-trust and confidence that will propel you toward your destiny. Propel you toward your destiny. But what is that destiny? What are we building towards with all this discipline, this consistency, this renewed confidence? For Steve Harvey, the answer lies in something far grander than personal success alone. It's about your legacy, the conscious shaping of your dash. He often speaks of this profound truth, echoing it in his books and powerful commencement addresses, reminding us, the next homegoing service at your church could be yours. And the most important thing on that day won't be the amount of flowers that surround your casket or how well the choir sings your favorite hymn. The only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. This isn't a morbid thought. It's a radical call to live with urgent intention. So, how do we craft that dash? It begins with defining your desired impact. Steve Harvey urges us to understand our unique purpose. He famously differentiates between your career is what you're paid for, your calling is what you're made for. Your calling, that inherent gift he speaks of, is the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. What is that for you? What comes so naturally that it feels effortless, yet deeply impactful when you share it? That, he suggests, is where your true legacy begins to unfold. Once you uncover that gift, the next step is service. Steve Harvey is clear. Success is not just about your ability to achieve, but also your ability to serve through sharing. True success lives in our legacies. He lives by this, stating with unwavering conviction that my calling is to help people, to teach people, to share with people until I die. I can never stop doing that. I can't, and I don't want to. This isn't an option. It's a divine imperative. He reminds us, as summarized in Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, that God blesses you to become a blesser. Think about that. You are endowed with gifts, not just for yourself, but to pour into the lives of others. How are you identifying those opportunities for service? Are you actively sowing into the soil of the universe with your time, your passion, and your commitment to others, as he describes in his book, trusting that the world will offer abundant opportunities for you to blossom into the new you? This is how great people, in his words from a 2016 Alabama State University commencement address, change other people's lives. Great people put other people's needs in front of theirs. Central to living an impactful dash is integrating principles of gratitude and intentional living into your daily actions. It's not enough to chase success. We must appreciate the journey and the very gift of existence. Steve Harvey, often beginning his days with an affirmation, encourages us to simply wake up and smile. Wake up and be grateful. This isn't superficial. It's a profound acknowledgement of life's preciousness. He beautifully articulates this connection in a YouTube message about what happens after death. The fragility of life increases the sweetness of every experience. It motivates us to be present, to slow down, and to appreciate the people we love while we still can. This awareness, this deep appreciation for the transient nature of our existence, fuels true intentionality. He explains that, by reflecting on death, people learn how to truly live with intention, gratitude, understanding, and a heart that values every moment they are given. This understanding transforms how you approach each day, each interaction, each choice. It compels you to ask, is this aligning with the legacy I wish to leave? Is this action reflecting the character I want remembered? Is this contributing to the impact I desire? Remember, your legacy is not measured by external validation or fleeting fame. As he clarified in another powerful YouTube message, legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence, even when you are gone. What truly endures, he profoundly states, is the impact they created through their character, their actions, and their heart. Love continues through the people who were shaped by it. Kindness continues through those who are transformed by it. Legacy continues through the story's habits, values, and lessons passed down to others. So look inward. What story are your daily habits telling? What values are you living and passing on? What kindness are you actively sowing? Your dash is being written right now, every single moment. Don't let fear or procrastination steal its pages. Embrace the divine purpose. Commit to consistent service, steep yourself in gratitude, and live each day with the fierce intention of someone who knows their time is precious, fixed, not adjustable, not negotiable, as he wisely puts it. Craft your dash with intention and impact, starting today. Let it be a testament to who you were created to be and the lives you chose to bless. Behind the quick wit and the sharp suits, the uproarious laughter and the game show lights, lies a wisdom far more profound than many perceive. Steve Harvey isn't just an entertainer. He is, at his core, a philosopher. He challenges us to look beyond the superficial, to uncover the divine blueprint within, and to live a life of unwavering purpose and indelible impact. His philosophy, consistently echoed across countless interviews and even in his commencement addresses, is a stark reminder that life is a sacred trust. He implores us to identify our inherent gift, that thing, as he describes it in motivational articles. You do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. He then makes a critical distinction that clarifies our path. Your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. This isn't just a motivational phrase. It's an invitation to align our daily grind with our soul's deepest yearning. He suggests in wisdom shared on YouTube that God really does want to use you as an example of what he can do. You just got to volunteer, but purpose without action is merely a dream. This is where Harvey's unwavering emphasis on discipline and consistency truly resonates. Forget grand gestures. He speaks of the quiet power of everyday choices. Small daily disciplines are powerful, he states in a YouTube video discussing morning habits, because they are achievable. A small step repeated daily becomes a habit. A habit becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your destiny. He sees discipline not as punishment, but as the foundation of self-trust, asserting, if you can't keep your word to yourself, how can you expect others to trust or respect you? Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and the person you want to become. It's about building momentum, as he explains, because consistency beats intensity that creates confidence, real confidence, the kind that comes from proving to yourself that you can do hard things. And what about the inevitable stumbles? For Steve Harvey, failure isn't a dead end, but a divine redirection. Your setback is just a setup for a comeback, he's famously said. He strips away the fear that paralyzes so many, articulating in various motivational pieces that every time you fail, you get information, you get experience, you get clarity about what works and what doesn't. If you avoid failure at all costs, you avoid learning, you avoid growth, and you avoid greatness. Failure is the training ground for success. He confronts the very root of our hesitation, noting that, what I learned from that moment is that when you face your fears, they aren't as big as you thought they were. Ultimately, all these tenets converge on one vital principle: legacy. Steve Harvey constantly reminds us that our existence is not solely for personal gain, but for collective upliftment. As he articulated in his 2016 Alabama State University commencement address, great people change other people's lives. Great people put other people's needs in front of theirs. He tells us, in profound YouTube reflections on mortality, that legacy is not about how loud the world remembers you, but how deeply people feel your presence, even when you are gone. He cautions against the self-deception that can blind us, stating on YouTube that the scary part isn't death. The scary part is lying to yourself. Death is just the unveiling, the moment the lights come on, the moment you see what you've really built, not what you convinced yourself you built. So, where does this leave us? The listeners, the dreamers, the doers. It leaves us with a profound question, a challenge that cuts through the noise of daily life. What will you do with your dash? As he wisely reminds us, the only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you were born and the day you die. This isn't a morbid thought. It's an empowering one. By reflecting on death, he reveals, people learn how to truly live with intention, gratitude, understanding, and a heart that values every moment they are given. Embrace your divine purpose. Cultivate unwavering discipline through consistent, small actions. View every setback as a stepping stone, a lesson learned, a prelude to your comeback. And above all, live with a fierce commitment to your legacy, impacting others not with fleeting fame, but with deep, lasting kindness and character. Your time is precious, fixed, not adjustable, not negotiable. It's a call to action, a spiritual awakening. So when faced with doubt, procrastination, or fear, ask yourself, truly ask, what would Steve Harvey do?